Susanna, for the kind words, and good afternoon, everybody. And it's quite rare that you have entertainment and technology all mixed in one session, right? So I'm going to play a song for you. The song you have just heard is not an ordinary song. It's something related to Alan Turing, subject of this luncheon talk. It was actually composed by a very famous writer in Hong Kong called Loke Lay. Some of you may have heard of that name, Loke Lay. And she was very good. She wrote this song, and I belong to the YMCA Harmonica Orchestra, and we actually performed this song in City Hall in September in our annual concert. So at the end, we are going to play the concert version, which has a full orchestra and a soprano. That will be really impressive. So as a starter, I just play on a solo harmonica. Now today we are going to talk about a very interesting subject. This year is the 100th birthday of Alan Turing, who is a very famous computer scientist. Some of you may have seen this photo. And Alan Turing was a British mathematician, a cryptographic expert, and also a computer scientist. He invented the Turing machine and created the concept of store programs. He has also written important papers on artificial intelligence and also mathematical biology, something called morphogenesis. It is quite rare that we see so many contributions in so many fields of science from a single scientist. No wonder he is often referred to as the father of computer science and the father of artificial intelligence. In 2011, USA President Obama visited Britain and was granted an opportunity to address both houses of the parliament. It was quite a rare event, as only the Queen, the Pope, and Nelson Mandela had that honor before President Obama. In his speech at Westminster Hall, Obama was emphasizing the cooperation between Britain and the United States, and he mentioned Alan Turing. And this is his words: from Newton and Darwin to Edison and Einstein, from Alan Turing to Steve Jobs, we have led the world in our commitment to science and cutting-edge research, the discovery of new medicines and technology. So let's have a quick look at the life of Alan Turing. Alan Turing entered King's College of Cambridge University in 1931. He was an excellent mathematician. In 1936, he published a landmark paper This paper addressed a mathematical challenge posed by a German mathematician called David Hilbert on decision problem. So on the screen here you see this German word, Entscheidung, Entscheidung's problem. Entscheidung means decision in English. So the name of this paper is on computable numbers with an application to the Entscheidung's problem. Now, I'm not a mathematician, so I actually spent a lot of effort trying to understand what is this decision problem. And this is the best I can come up with, what is the Entscheidung's problem, because it's a mathematics problem. The problem is, does that exist an algorithm for deciding whether or not a specific mathematical assertion does or does not have a proof? Now, I still don't know what that means. But in this paper, Turing proposed the idea of a machine that can calculate anything that is computable. This proposal, called Turing machine, formed the theoretical basis of the modern-day computer. So what's the Turing machine? Now, Turing machine is a theoretical model in his paper. Alan Turing did not actually construct a physical machine for this paper, but many people have done so over the years. On this slide, you can see a Turing machine constructed by an American called Mike Davey. So I saw his website, I wrote to him and said, can I have your permission to get this photo? So he said, no problem, and sent me a high-definition version of the photo too. There's even a model constructed using Lego pieces of the Turing machine. So you can watch videos on YouTube how the Turing machines work. But basically, the Turing machine has a head that can read, write, and alter symbols, and can calculate anything that is computable. So it's a very important landmark in the development of computer science. During the Second World War, Alan Turing was recruited to work in the cipher lab of Battery Park in the UK. His job was to decipher intercepted messages from the Germans. At that time, Britain relied heavily on supply ships from the United States for food and for war supplies. The German U-boats, they call it the Wolf Pack, was very powerful. They were sinking a lot of these ships and threatened the survival of Britain. The U-boats used encrypted messages to communicate with their control stations in Europe. The Germans used a machine called the Enigma to encode their messages, and it's very difficult to decipher. Alan Turing managed to develop a decoding machine called a bomb to decipher these Enigma encoded messages, and this is the bomb, to save millions of lives during the war. It was estimated that his effort shortened Second World War by anywhere from 2 to 4 years. He was indeed a war hero. After the war, Alan Turing was involved in building some of the early computers at the National Physical Laboratory and the Manchester University. So this is a picture of the Mark I at Manchester, one of the earliest computers. Remind you, in those days, they're still using vacuum tubes. Digital technology was not even invented yet. Apart from his work on computers, Alan Turing also did great work on artificial intelligence. In 1950, he published an important paper called Computing, Machinery, and Intelligence, and posed the question, can machines think? There's a very famous test called the Turing test. The Turing test assumes that you have a text-based terminal that you're in dialogue with two rooms. One room has a human being and one room has a computer. So you're talking to both of them. During this dialogue, if you cannot decide which one is human and which one is a machine, then we conclude that the machine has passed the Turing test because you, the human being, cannot differentiate the machine from the human. So Turing's research in artificial intelligence earned him the title of father of AI. Here's the picture of chess champion Garry Kasparov against the IBM Big Blue computer in 1997. Do we have somebody from IBM here? Is Tony Tai here? Do you recall who won the chess game? The machine won the chess game, and IBM very quickly dismantled the machine, so there's no chance for a second match. Very smart. Alan Turing's life was not very fortunate. He was a homosexual and was convicted by the government. He had the choice of either going to jail or have chemical injection, something called chemical castration, by injecting female hormones. And he chose the latter. He doesn't want to go to jail. The stress on him at the end was too much, and he took his life on the 7th of June, 1954. He was only 42. British Prime Minister Gordon Brown made a formal apologies in year 2009 and acknowledged the great work that Alan Turing has done to modern science. This year marks the 100th birthday of Alan, and there are celebrations worldwide. All sectors of the community are involved, and not just people from IT. In Hong Kong, we are also very busy. In May, the Computer Society hosted talks by Professor Barry Cooper of Leeds University from the UK. Barry is a mathematics professor at Leeds University, and he is also the global chair of the Alan Turing Year. We also have an Alan Turing fan in Hong Kong Computer Society, Mr. Cambridge Wong, who is present today. And Cambridge has given several public talks on the lives and achievement of Alan Turing. In June, Computer Society co-hosted an exhibition in the Arts Center with the Arts Center and also the cultural community in Hong Kong, showing works of art as well as information about Alan Turing. As I mentioned, writer Miss Loke Lay, she wrote this song, and we have a musical performance of the Turing song by the YMCA Harmonica Orchestra in City Hall in September this year. So this is a picture of our president, Steve Lau, with Professor Barry Cooper. This is in May. And this is our exhibition at Arts Center, 100th birthday. And Stephen opens the Turing exhibition at Arts Center. This is part of the exhibits, lots of writings and also pictures and calligraphy related to Alan Turing. Here's Cambridge, big Turing fan. On the right-hand side, you see Cambridge. He designed this Alan Turing cake, which is really a Turing machine. You see the two tapes that goes out on both sides, and also the teddy bear, which is something that Alan Turing liked. So Cambridge designed this, and very nice.
Tastes good too.
Tastes good too. Now, currently we have a company called Microwave Wholesale. Sorry. Peter not here, right? Microwave, they host an international New Year Arts Festival in Hong Kong, but they use the Enigma, which is that German machine, remember, as a theme for the show. I think that show is still going on. It's up to the 25th. So I'll stop here.
Okay, let's give applause to Professor Yeung. Let's not get the end. Okay, so that's why it stopped so abruptly. Okay, but first I would like to present the souvenir to Professor Yeung for the excellent and enlightening speech.
And performance.
Performance.
One more. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, Professor Yeung, so you still have something to say, right?
Yeah, we're going to play the. This is the public performance. The music is by Miss Loke Lay. Original lyrics is in Chinese by Bin Xiu-sing, and I wrote the English lyrics. And we are fortunate to have a very famous soprano in Hong Kong called Miss Ellie Fong. She was a vocal instructor and also associated with the culture. So we're going to play the song, and I think we can start. the food, right? So on your table you have the lyrics, you have the music, and you got everything you need. There's a timpani starting.